maybe watch the video I did recently about the Sony a7 IV rig that I built for handheld stuff. One of the items on there that was really crucial to a long wedding day is the Anton Bauer Titon base battery pack. So I thought we'd go into detail on this. If you're not familiar with this, this is a base that comes with a quick disconnect that allows you to have extended battery power to power things like monitors or your camera. And if you buy the kit, it comes with an adapter, a dummy battery adapter that goes in the bottom of your camera and then plugs into the back of this thing via D-tap. This is 68 watt hours, and if that doesn't mean anything to you, because it doesn't mean anything to me, we'll talk about runtime in general here. So if you're just running a camera like the a7 IV at 24 frames per second, you're going to get about 8.5 hours worth of time. At 60 frames per second, you'll get about 8 hours of runtime, and I've tested it. If you run a big monitor like this Atomos Shinobi 7, which is 2200 nits, super bright, so it's a power hog, along with the camera, you're going to get somewhere around 4 hours of continuous runtime for both of those at 24 frames per second, and about 3.5 hours of runtime at 60 frames per second. The base comes with D-taps on the back. You have 3 D-taps and 1 USB type A. You can use this to power your camera as well. So if you do a USB-A to USB-C connector and you want to keep a regular battery in here and then do the charging through the camera, you'll get that extended runtime too, and then always have a camera battery in here to back you up. I don't personally do that, but I have messed around with it to verify that it works. These D-taps are great because they're just made so you can't put them in wrong. They only go one way, right? And I really like the Condor blue cables. That's what this one is. It goes to the Shinobi and it screws into the DC port. It's a really nice braided cable though. This other cable is the dummy battery cable, and it's what came with the kit when you buy it. You can get it for different cameras. They've got them for all kinds, but you kind of want to get the kit that has the battery that matches, obviously. The base of this thing, it actually snaps in. So you can see that on this, and I'll unplug these, there's a triangular kind of shaped trapezoid, I guess it would be, shaped base that snaps in here to the bottom of this thing. And it's easy to get off and on, I mean, outside of all the cables you're gonna have, but I mean, overall, it will snap on there and off relatively easy. You can see that I still have the battery door on this dubby cable still on there. You can leave that on and just fold it down and it will fit between the base and the cage. If you want to take it off, you can. I leave it on there though because there might be a time where I'm actually gonna pop out the dummy battery, which looks like this with a springy cable, put a regular battery in and use this without the battery base on it. So you still have that option. This base that snaps in here is specialized to just the Anton Bauer stuff. I think that's a disadvantage actually. I wish this was like Arca Swiss or something standardized so we could use it on other things, but unfortunately it only works with this. If you watch my other video, you know that this Manfrotto base I really like because it helps hold the camera flat and doesn't get tilty because it's nice and long. In the bottom of this, there are multiple screw holes. So there are 2 this way, there's another that goes this way so that you can use 2 bolts in the bottom of your bases to keep them from twisting or rotating. The back of this also has a LCD display that tells you estimated runtime, and it's very accurate, surprisingly. So right now it's at 100%, but as it goes, it will tell you how runtime actually, not just percentage, but runtime. So when it's being used, it converts to runtime, and it'll tell you hours and minutes of runtime to go, and it really appears to be fairly accurate. When it's not being used, you can just plug in a charger into any one of these D-tap ports, and the charger comes with it with varying plug-ins depending upon where you live, whether you're in the US or Europe or wherever. They send you all of those. Plug it into a normal outlet, plug it in here, and this percentage indicator will tell you how charged it is. It's going to take you from 0, it's going to take you about 3.5 hours to charge this. So, you know, it takes a little bit of time, but you're going to get great runtime out of it. The advantage about it is that you can change these out. So if you need more than one base, you could swap it out, put another one on, plug your cables in and go. The downside is that I find, number one, this is a particular specialized base for their unit, but also I find that it's plastic and it makes a little noise. And it tends to kind of seem like it moves just a little bit. I think that's because it's plastic and it's a small base. It's not a deal killer, because if you're handheld a lot, which is what kind of the purpose of this is, it's not a big deal. Doesn't make a lot of noise then. But I notice it on a tripod when I first put it on there. I don't notice it as much once it's on the tripod, so you can still move the tripod or whatever if you're using it that way. But I do find that it's a really great battery for a long day. I don't know about you, but one of the things that drives me crazy is having to carry around multiple batteries, and then right before, you know, ceremony starts or first look starts, you're popping in a new battery just to make sure you've got enough. Well, this takes care of that because you've got battery to last a long time. I've even throughout the day taken the charger with me, and when I have a break, if I'm eating dinner or something during a wedding, I'll plug it in and let it charge for a while. And I've been able to get full days even with a monitor out of it just because I'm not recording continuously, I'm off and on. And that by plugging it in, charging it, or plugging it in the car, letting it charge while we drive between locations has really made it last an entire day. So it's worked out for me. The downside of this rig though is that if you want to shoot photos with the A7 IV, it takes a lot to get it out of there to take pictures. But other than that, it's been a great addition. So if you're considering it, I'll put the links in the description. It's like $260 or $80, depending on the kit you buy for which camera. It sort of adjusts the price. And sometimes the availability is not easy to find, but I bought this from B&H Photo. So I'll put links in the description for you though, so you can have a look at it and see what you think. So I hope this is helpful for you if you're like trying to rig out an A7 IV or an A7S III or any of those that use that style battery. This Titan base, I think it could be a game changer for you. So thanks for watching. See you again soon.